to hang out with Lori from Unplugged. How are you? Purposefully Unplugged. Sorry, Lori, about that. Welcome to December. How's things?
Things are great. Yes, welcome to December. And as I was thinking about that, I thought about last year when we talked about the holidays and just taking care of yourself and that it's okay, not to do things. This year that I'm thinking more about how do you interact with other people that might be struggling this holiday. So really that's where I think we should talk today, Dave.
Okay, that I love that. But first of all, I wanted just to remind you that I never got your gift last year. I don't know what happened. So I just thought I wanted to throw that out there, Lori, in case you forgot. It's understandable. You're a busy person, so am I. But yes, but we'll skip that. We'll get back to that later. I'll bring that up later before the show ends, I'm sure. But anyway, you're right.
And so this
How,
year you need a razor by the looks of it, Dave.
oh, a razor. There it
Oh,
is.
touche.
I'm thinking about this is going to grow in.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I mask all my mental health problems. But I enjoy in the fall, you know, making the gray come out. I look almost mature. You'll give me that, right? So, and Miss Monica there, I don't know if she really appreciates it, but she puts up with it till March. Back to the subject at hand. We're way off topic today.
It's okay.
But that's okay. So
Yeah.
you were mentioning about that intent when you're around folks and maybe the environment's not as comfortable as you want.
Mhm.
Do you have some ideas for coping for me?
I do. So lots of us just assume that with the holidays and social events and getting together that it's a good thing. But sometimes people just aren't able or capable to connect and to socialize the way that you might want them to. So really just some sensitivity. I'd like to talk about sensitivity, about social events and interacting with someone who might be struggling during the holidays.
With that, does that start like I'll notice sometimes I'll get a little bit worked up before an event. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Is that sort of the prelude to it? So you're already in that state of mind, right?
Absolutely. So anxiety, panic attacks, all related to social events. And then think about, food and alcohol. So many people are either trying to break an addiction or dealing with an addiction that if we make the assumption, why aren't you drinking? Or try this. Oh, come on, try this. Or around food. If someone's really trying to watch what they're eating and there's an ingredient in one of those products, and we're like, oh, come on, it won't hurt you. It's okay, we put a lot of pressure on each other just around food, drink, alcohol, and just those social events. So that's the biggest thing that came out for me because I talk with so many clients around addiction and or their choices around food, and I just know how sensitive it is for people.
So how do you counteract that? Like, I don't know. Like, you get to a certain stage in your life where if somebody says you want a beer, and I'm like, nah, I don't. I just don't feel like it. It doesn't bother me to say no. But how do if you're not capable of that, what do you do? How do you avoid?
Well, and most people are capable of saying no, but it's when people put on pressure. And if someone is struggling, then just give them options. And if someone approaches one of your social events and brings something with them, then assume that that's really important to them. They did that on purpose. So
Right.
if they've brought a Diet Coke or brought something else or brought different food, just assume that they're trying to respect their bodies. And it's good if you can respect their body as well.
I never thought about that. That's a great idea because then you're welcoming them into your world. You're saying, "Oh, I brought this.
Mhm.
You know, would you like to try some?" And it's maybe maybe they'll say no, but they understand that that's for you or what you would like to enjoy that evening, right? That's
Mhm.
cool. Yeah, I like that. It sort of
Mhm.
diffuses the whole situation quickly, doesn't it?
It does. And the next thing I was thinking about too is just listen to people. If they're indicating they don't want to come or can't come or they're too busy or too tired. I mean, the whole work or the premise behind the work I do, Dave, is just listen to people, hear what they're saying, ask what really would help them. But sometimes we have our own agendas about the holidays and our own needs surpass. And so we really put some pressure on other people. Just listen. Ask them, what do they need? What would be better for them?
Do people react the other way? Like in that's like, oh, John's having a party. You know, I'm going to his party and I'm going to tie one on. Do people
Well,
use that too, probably to facilitate their addiction? Correct?
It could be, or they could be distracting or trying to avoid some other stress that's going on for them, right? So you're right. Thank you. That's a good point. So then, as we're thinking about the holidays, let's just make sure each other's safe. If someone's coming to your home or coming to your event and they do indulge in any kind of activity that's too much for them, then we need to be the responsible ones and help make sure that they get home safe and help make sure that they're okay. Like check in with them the next day, check in with them the next week. So you're right. I hadn't even thought about that. So I appreciate that you brought that up.
And when you're in that state, like when you're in over the holidays with all these parties, or you're getting out socially, there's that melancholy moment because you're looking back at the year for perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And in your business, do you find that that's the point where some people maybe try and make change to their life
They can.
because
So
they're
you're
coming from all this stuff?
Yeah, you're kind of talking about that reflective piece, which is
Right.
happening through the holidays, either from Christmas into New Year's or both. And that's not an easy thing. Sometimes we can reflect on good things, but often what I find is our brains are trained to reflect on the things we did wrong or the bad things or our shortcomings. So the holidays are a difficult time simply because there may have been a death in the family. There could be significant financial concerns. There could be a medical diagnosis that is new or different. And sometimes we forget about that. We get stuck in the holiday mode and don't necessarily think about that. So being aware, listening, asking people what they need is really a big key.
Is it important too, like you said, if you have a bunch of events, to sort of space them out?
Mhm.
Because you can get in this washing machine of just doing it, right? But you probably need that little bit of time in between to, set your feet again and get ready for the next one. Like you said, it might be this week it was one side of the family, it might be the next week it's the other side, and you're kind of going back and forth. It's a little bit of a teetering act, right?
And overwhelming for some. And I know one of the topics we're going to talk about in the future is, family of origin and what that means for us. So this is kind of a testing ground for that as well. Some of our family of origins have expectations of us because this is the way we've always done the holidays. And so sometimes there's things around our family of origin that do get triggered. And I know we are going to talk about that more next month. So it kind of leads us into that conversation. And I think the other thing that's really been on my mind as I think about this is we all have different emotions around the holidays. Some folks are not happy and joyful and just over the top about the holidays. And we often say things like, oh, cheer up, or come on, it's the holidays, or everybody else is happy. What's wrong with you? So just being sensitive when someone's not up to par. They're their emotions. They own their emotions. We can't shift or change their emotions.
The other parameter within all this I want to talk about is the person hosting it,
Mm.
because sometimes it's not their choice, or oh, I've got to do this. So you can see that stress when you go to their home. You can literally feel it, right? um, how do you diffuse that? How do you make that, turn that environment around a little bit? Obviously you want to say, hey, thanks for inviting us, we really appreciate it, but you sometimes sense that, eh?
Oh, you absolutely sense that. Now, when I reflect on the work that I do, often people feel that stressed when they're trying to be perfect. If they're trying for
Ah,
everything to be perfect, the food and the table and the bathroom and everything has to be perfect, sometimes people just get so much anxiety about that because they feel like they're being judged. So perfection might be part of it, but also our own anxiety just about hosting and just having people over. Sometimes that's difficult for us too. So when you walk into a room and notice that, what if you just take a breath yourself? Just take a breath yourself. Give the host some space to just breathe. Give the host or the family, the children that are there, just the space to just relax a little bit. That's probably the best gift you can give them. A
that's
chance and
great
space to
advice.
breathe.
Yeah. And it isn't easy being perfect, but I'll tell you, you'll get there. Keep working, Lori. Anyway, um my shot got back at you for the razor. Uh do you want to give out any Christmas greetings, salutations? Do you have anything you want to say for the end of the year?
Just wishing everyone well through the holidays. Be safe, connect with people, take care of others, but take care of you. Do whatever is important for you to find some balance during the holidays.
Thanks, Lloyd. Have a great Christmas and happy holidays. Okay.
Take care.